We have a foundational class, so any students who are new to the country or new to language learning, they are in the foundational class, just accessing those early language stages. And after they graduate out of that class, they come into the mainstream classroom.
They are in the middle of a unit called Protecting the Earth. They are reading a book called Trash Vortex, and we are studying the effects of plastic pollution. In today's lesson, students were tasked with creating a visual representation of how plastic became such a part of everyday life throughout history. To prepare for today's lesson, I always collaborate with my co-teacher, Elisa. She is the multilingual educator in 5th grade, which means she works with all transitional multilingual learners. So she and I co-teach together and collaborate in order to create lessons that are scaffolded in a way that can reach all learners.
Based on our readings earlier, what caused plastic to become such a large part of our lives? Go ahead and think about it. Write your answers down. Looking for complete sentences.
I'm gonna say about a minute and a half left. Like we said, very quick do now. Love how quickly we're getting started on this. Loving these sentence starters I'm seeing from Brianni. Oh, I love that Angela is referencing her notes from this morning to help her with her do now. Ooh, Camilla's using the word cheapest in her do now.
Yes, and why did they want to put in everyday things? Why do they want to use plastic instead of other materials in our everyday things? Well, what do you think?
When the timer goes off, you're going to share with your partner. Finish up and share.
Audible, which caused it to become so popular among, and it was also quarantine.
Let's start with Montserrat first in Team 2. Montserrat, what did you say? Why did plastic become such a large part of people's lives?
Plastic was for the cheap and not for the expensive. It's causing problems because I was gonna write from my notes of World War II.
I think you're getting into the idea of how plastic is causing a problem in the world, but why did it become such a large part in general? Montserrat, you want to call on somebody else?
Use it for like a more variety of things.
And when Tiana's saying you can use it for a variety of things, which vocab word sort of matches that best? Manuela? Convenient. It is more convenient to use plastic, especially in the beginning.
What caused it was people using more like rubber and creating most of the things that were made out of natural resources instead of rubber.
I like where you're going. What does natural resources have to do with plastic?
Can someone help Leonelle out?
Because you're on the right track.
Yeah. Leonelle, call on somebody to help you out. How does natural resources relate to the use of plastic? Call on somebody else, Leonelle.
Plastic was created because natural resources were too expensive. They were like very expensive, so they had to make something cheaper. And by doing that, they decided to make plastic.
Exactly. Great job. So that is a nice introduction for why plastic did become such a big part of our lives. Let's move on to the learning target. You have been doing such a great job making your visual representations. You already did your timeline. Before the timeline, you introduced what microplastics were. So you're doing a great job with visual representations. Before we get into our activity, let's review some vocab from this morning. So the way our review is going to go, Team 1, you're going to discuss what disposable means, and then you'll have a representative share what disposable means. Team 2, you're focusing on convenience. Team 3, you're focusing on affordable. And me and Miss Kittle will focus on synthetic. So when it's your team's turn, you have your representative. You get to choose who will represent your team. They're going to share their answer. Team 2 and 3, you need to agree with the definition or disagree with the definition, or if you think that it's right but you want to add a little bit on, you can do this. Just make sure we're listening. Go ahead, talk amongst yourself. What does your word mean? Teams 2 and 3, you're going to agree, disagree, or add on to what the rep. It looks like Abdi, you're the rep. Juan Carlos, you're the rep. Awesome. Juan Carlos, what is your word and what does it mean?
That you can throw it away, or you can like to get rid of something.
So no one has any opinions on that?
Okay. Interesting. So we all agree. We all agree.
After one or only one or a few uses. Yep, so it's made to be thrown away.
Huge shine to team 1. Team 2 is Sadie, right? Sadie, what is your word and what does it mean?
Convenience means something that is easier to do than other things.
No one has any opinions? Oh, team 3 does. Oh, okay. Okay, let's take a look. Let's take a look.
A quality that makes something easy to do. Convenience. Very good. Team 3.
Melissa, what is your word and what does it mean?
Affordable. Affordable means like it's like you have like enough money to buy it and it's like cheap and you could like buy it because you have like enough money for it.
Love that I'm seeing more of those symbols now. It looks like most of us are agreeing. Most of us are agreeing. Let's look at the definition. Oh, love it.
Expensive or not expensive. What I love is how every representative and all of your partner talks, you all use your own words to describe the definition, and you did a great job. It wasn't just you were memorizing it and repeating it. I love how you use your own words. We're going to work in groups to create a visual representation to answer a key question about this morning's reading. So you see how I put a poster up here? It looks hand-drawn because you're going to be hand-drawing some posters as well in your groups. So these are key questions, what the visual is all about. Key question number 1. Let's get a confidence check. Do you feel like you could answer that question right now? Fist is like, I have no idea. 5 is like, I know exactly. I can find text evidence too. Oh, good. I'd love to see where you're failing. All right. So what makes a good visual? Let's really quickly talk about, we've talked about this a lot before, but what makes a good visual? Why don't you think about it for like 10 seconds? And try to remember that we're hand drawing it this time. So what would make a good hand-drawn visual? Tell the people next to you. What makes a good hand-drawn visual?
What is our criteria for success? What are we noticing? What do we think should go on our posters?
I think you should include like have nice handwriting, have text evidence and examples.
Oh, so many things that he just said. I like that he mentioned, since it's going to be handwritten, which we haven't really done before, be really, really like clear with your writing. Take your time. I love the text evidence piece. I agree with that. Jason, I'm calling somebody else. I love these hands up.
I'll be.
Something to add, a title and headings, subheadings.
Oh, whoa. Let's do one thing at a time. Oh my gosh, that's so many great ideas though. If you agree with anything you're hearing, I should definitely see some agree symbols or build on symbols. Love it. So we have title, headings, subheadings, captions. Oh my gosh. What else? Leonel. Say it loud and proud.
Drawings.
Drawings and pictures, right? Angeli, how much writing do you see in the posters? Like how much?
Like one sentence, like each.
Yeah, maybe one sentence, maybe a couple bullet points.
A couple phrases here and
Yeah.
there. Do you guys feel like if you want to keep CER up here, you can? That would be,
That's a huge challenge for you.
that would be a big challenge. Do you think you guys as a class would be able to do that by the end of class today?
Which is in like 25 minutes.
Because this is your criteria for success, right? So do you want to change that a little bit, Elise, to make it more specific for a visual, for a poster? So who wants to keep CER? Raise your hand if you want to keep it. Raise your hand if you want to take that out, okay? What about images and drawings? Raise your hand if you want to keep that in your criteria for success. All right. What about title, headings, subheadings, and captions? Do you need to have all of these things?
Should we pick one that's like super important?
Or 2?
Do 1 or 2.
Text evidence.
Out of title, headings, subheadings, and captions.
Clarify, we're keeping text evidence, keeping clear handwriting. We're talking about this, like the title, headings, subheadings.
Titles and headings.
Let's do that.
Anybody strongly disagree and they
Sounds like Emma does, but
Emma?
I think captions and headings.
but no title?
Is headings titles?
Headings are not titles. That's the thing. Remember we talked about text features?
And captions.
Okay. I like it. Titles and captions, because we can caption the photos. Let's do that.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate this. I do. But we also want to, don't you want to have time to actually make your posters?
we'll leave these 3 because Emma has a good point. It is important to give some captions to photos as well. So we have clear handwriting, text evidence, titles, headings, captions, images, drawings. Anything else? All right, I think we're all set. Let's move on then. and just talk amongst yourself. What is some information that you need to collect based on your planning map?
The convenience. I can't say that word.
Wait, try it again. Conveniences.
Yeah, convenience.
What do you, when it's saying conveniences and you see all those bullet points, what do you think you have to find or list?
Convenience stuff.
I think it should like talk about the river.
Try it. Conveniences.
How it qualifies.
Oh, yeah.
I wrote plastic. I wrote plastic is starting to accumulating. Wait, plastic started accumulating in waterways because and polluted the water with diseases.
I wrote on page 24, Ohio's Cahota River was polluted with chemicals that caught on fire in 1969.
I wrote the effect was waterways from ancient Rome to some cities today have a foul smelling sewage that has polluted drinking water.
If your group has a question or is confused on what information to collect, please raise your hand. Otherwise, you have about 6 minutes. We'll give you 6 minutes to finish your planning map before we give you your posters. Go ahead and do that now.
Disable thinks that important vocabulary should be chemicals.
Because that's when the river catch on fire.
Why is convenient? So yeah.
The water caught fire because of the chemicals.
You don't agree? Why not?
Because like convenience, like useful and
It means easy to use, which plastic is.
But remind us, what is the question that your group is answering now?
we're answering how what was the effect of the plastic consumption in the United States after the 1950s.
Why don't, so it seems like instead of getting this done first, what was the effect? Let's just talk about this first. What was the effect of all the, so that could be a key vocabulary word, right?
On a lake.
That's going to be a really good visual you could include, right? But we have like pollution. What caused the pollution? What caused the fire? Chemical. So I'm seeing, if I'm looking at important vocabulary, pollution, chemicals, what else?
Make sure you agree on which text evidence you're going to do together, though. But I love how Oneda's already giving the sentence starter. On page 21, it says, you could at least write that. And then I'll be back to check your text evidence.
Okay, so which text evidence? Where did you put? I said page 21 it says. Yeah.
You can do a quick confidence check. Fist of 5. How confident are you feeling right now about your poster and what you want to include? Oh, okay. I'm seeing one group that we might need to check in with, but other than that, this is looking really awesome. We're going to start passing out paper. While you guys are working, I'm going to put our criteria for success back on the board.
Which would you think we could write more? This side or the...
I like how you're focusing on the river. Just make sure that you're also using some of this language. The effect of plastic consumption. Okay. Is the poster about the river?
Oh yeah.
Only?
The effects that happen.
Yes. Sure. As long as you make sure that you're focusing on the question as well. You can make your poster about Cuyahoga River, but is the question about the river?
No.
Is it Cuyahoga?
No.
Like something like, since plastic was created in the 1950s, it was
created before the World War II.
Guys, let's make like.
how about since plastic was created, it has been very convenient for humans to get around, and then that in the futures we have been getting more careless about the plastic.
People have been getting more careless about the disposal.
Yeah.
So, I love that, Brian. Good job. So what's the important vocab you're going to include? Well, let's talk about it. What's the important vocabulary? Oh, we found it. So what is it? What are the two words?
Affordable and convenience.
Jaden, what does affordable mean? We should probably include that on the poster, right? Don't worry making it like completely perfect. This is looking like a really strong start. I love that. I love that you have a heading here, and then the information is going to go there. Love it. I'm impressed by the organization.
Overall, we've been seeing some really great group work. I know in the beginning, some like a couple weeks back, some of you were not sure how to work together, but y'all have been doing a great job of getting right into work, knowing your strengths, knowing what you're good at. You're like, hey, I'm good at text evidence. I'm going to do that. Hey, I'm good at writing sentences. I'm going to do that. Some of you are like, hey, I'm good at the design. Let me help with that. So you're falling into your roles. Continue to explore your roles. Maybe you try a different role next time.
We find that if students are doing the heavy lifting, that's where the deeper learning occurs. And so we really try to focus our attention on lessons that can generate the most student ideas, putting that ownership on the students and asking them, what should you put in a poster? What would get you an A+ on this poster? Having them generate their own responses not only builds the engagement, but also like they're very aware then of what they need to do in order to complete the assignment.
Getting students to notice their own learning patterns, getting them to notice when they do know something and when they don't know something. That's what deeper learning is to me, because if they know themselves as a learner and as a human being, then they can carry those skills into any subject matter.